Welcome to another episode of the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we have another amazing show lined up for you. We have a very special guest, and we have a special guest co-host as well. We have Cody Peck.
Thanks for having me back.
Network Outdoors, and you almost didn't come back after last time. I got to be honest with you. You got a little wild. You got to keep it calm.
Okay, I will be my stoic self.
But the Tucson Tasty Show would not be possible without our amazing sponsors. That's Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Barrio Premium Beef, Nova's Feed on Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Cirrus Visual. And don't forget to subscribe and share. We have a really cool event coming up that is going to be at the Arizona Sands Club. If you've never been there, this is actually the perfect time to come out and check it out. We, after discussing a little bit more with the chefs and everything, we actually were able to invite more people in and lower the tickets, which is really cool. So instead of $100 for a 5-course meal with wine pairings from Laramida Cellars, which is really cool, you get the 5-course meal for $70.
Wow.
Right. I mean, you can't even beat that anywhere else. I mean, it doesn't matter. And you're at the Arizona Sands Club, which is at the north end of the Arizona Stadium. Very unique, very cool location to do it. And I'm really excited. So make sure you go to Eventbrite and get those tickets. It's the Tasty Show TV recording with the Arizona Sands Club. And it should pop up pretty quick if you just put in the Tasty Show. So we do have Don of Barrio Bread and in the studio today, and it's how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. So excited to be here with you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's really exciting because your bread is incredible, and it's kind of a staple in Tucson, and everybody goes Barrio Bread. And in fact, usually when they say this sandwich is made with Barrio Bread, that's what we order. I mean, just it doesn't matter where we are.
I'm so thankful for that. I'm just grateful for this community, all the support they've given, and you know, the restaurants now putting Barrio Bread on the menu means a lot to me, and it's just a great brand for Tucson, and glad to represent. Just so happy that I can continue this work and be a baker.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Cody, do you have a quick thing to say about Network Outdoors, don't you?
Quick thing to say about Network Outdoors?
Yes.
Okay.
What is Network Outdoors? Come on. That's why you're here, isn't it?
Well, I thought I was being in the corner and being quiet this time. No. Network Outdoors, we're a private membership networking organization for outdoors individuals. You can come on out and join our chapters. About to soon be 9 states, Montana, Florida, coming in this year if things go according to plan. And then we put on exclusive trainings and hunting trips, fishing trips, camping trips around the U.S. And I'm really excited as we're going to be kicking off stuff here in Arizona. Our first ever partnership with a partner of ours. We're going to have a Spec Ops Challenge. Yes, you can actually learn to rappel out of a helicopter on that in November.
I've been there, done that. I'm good. Thank you.
And I'm really excited as I'm working with you this round, Wesley, and a lot of local partners in Tucson, bringing local Tucson flavors to our second wild game dinner here in Arizona.
Awesome. So are they actually rappelling out of the helicopters? Because usually it's just a fast rope, which is 5 giant ropes braided together, and you hold on, and you're about 100 feet off the ground, and you are the only thing attached to that rope. You grab the rope and you go, here we go.
Yeah, you're fast roping, by the way. Like, yeah, fair. You better be in shape for this. This trip.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited as we start kicking off our annual trips and everything else for hunting in August also.
As am I, and that is August. That's coming up pretty quick. And we're going to be out with a good group of guys and doing some recording and broadcasting from out there as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool to be able to do. Well, there goes the hat. So happy Cinco de Mayo for everybody that enjoys and celebrates Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Today's the 4th, so may the 4th be with you. And one more really quick shout out. It's actually my cousin's birthday, Eddie Patel. And he is officially 21, which is
He's ready for Cinco de Mayo. Then.
He is. Like, your birthday's
timing.
perfect. You don't even need to go anywhere. Just hang out in Tucson. You'll be good. And too bad for him. Tomorrow is also Orthodox Easter, so he has to be at that for the family. But yes, it'll be good. So happy birthday to Eddie Patel, and happy May the 4th be with you, and Cinco de Mayo. So, Don, you got to tell me what started you on this incredible journey to become the premier baker in Tucson, and also be an award-winning James Beard award-winning baker as well.
Wow, it's been a long journey. So it's been 33 years that I've just been obsessed with bread. And when I started baking in Flagstaff, Arizona, back in 1991, that was that first night in the bakery, actually getting paid to do what I love.
Oh, wow.
It just hit me, this is what I wanted to do. I was going to dedicate myself to it and study, read every book in that Flagstaff library, which was a pretty short list at that time. I started before internet, so it wasn't like YouTubing how to mix doughs and how to do all the fancy stuff. So
the index cards, going and finding the index cards.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, right. Card catalog. We get in there and
I love that card catalog.
You learn a lot.
I
by
could
doing
never find
that, right?
anything.
A lot of patience, and if that book's actually on the shelf.
Yeah, and
so
then
you can't just type in, Google it. But it's a long journey. But I've just been dedicated to what I love to do, and it's taken me to some amazing places. So it started in Flagstaff, and a lot of study and travel. I've had some great travel in Europe, in Mexico, Eastern Europe, Asia. It's taken me all over the place, but really it's just about that passion for bread. And it wasn't until, kind of fast forward 95, I owned my first bakery in Flagstaff, and then 97, another one in Ashland, Oregon. Ran those bakeries, had a quick little hiatus, public school educator, TUSD, at Miles Exploratory Learning Center for 7 years. So College of Ed grad, U of A.
All right.
So first round was anthropology, then it was education, but it was really, after selling my bakeries, I sold my bakeries and decided to go back to school, and that taught me a lot and how I wanted to prepare myself, which was a future bakery, which is done differently. So strong pillar of Barrio bread is outreach education. Local grain economy development. It all made sense. See that anthropological background coupled with the entrepreneurship, which my dad taught me, and my passion for bread. And I kind of wrapped it up into what I do now, which is sharing with the community, getting the word out of why I do what I do, which is, continuing to work with farmers to grow this grain economy. It's sort of this renaissance of grain in Southern Arizona, and now a statewide initiative. And this is kind of what's going on around the world, is small scale farming of grain, and bakers, brewers, distillers, and other producers that use grain to get involved. But it really takes all of us to have something called, I say, circular economy model, where everyone's participating to make this work. And in Tucson, what better place? We are a city gastronomy. So this is really Barrio Bread becoming a model for the city gastronomy, because this is what it's truly about. It's sharing best practices with the rest of the world, yes, but it's also, celebrating the agricultural history of our region. Grain farming in this region started with Father Kino.
Yeah.
Late 1690s. This is the first wheat of the Americas brought by Father Kino and the missionaries.
Oh, wow.
Probably originally for communion, but, selfish reasons. They're Europeans. They want to eat bread. There was corn, and that was great, but, the wheat helped strengthen the food shed of what was here.
Absolutely.
So this is sort of this renaissance of grain in our community, and white Sonoran wheat was that focus. This is the model that we used when I worked on a grant with Native Seed Search in 2011. So it was a SARE grant, Sustainable Agriculture Research Education grant, and that was some funding to plant chapalote corn and Sonoran white wheat. And I was the baker on the project and on the grant. So, cool. The grain was grown. The wheat was delivered to my garage at that time. Yes, Barrio Bread started out of my garage in 2009.
Oh, wow.
But I made bread with that wheat, and I just, fast forward, I just saw it all. I knew it was going to happen, and I just wanted to seize that opportunity in that moment, and I knew it was going to be my work to bring to Tucson, and that's making bread with local grain and teaching my community how to make it themselves, and why we should be doing this. And so a true stimulation to agriculture, economics and gastronomy for our region.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's some good highlights.
That's what I love.
And you've done a lot. I mean, from your garage to one of the premier bakeries, if not the premier bakery in Tucson.
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, James Beard is a national award in my category and 22. So I'm happy to be that person. But the James Beard format has changed over the years and how you're selected. So a lot of it's about character excellence now, and community excellence, what you do for your industry, how do you support your community. But it's also the culinary excellence. So I feel that, Tucson has been an amazing place to incubate what I've done, which is, developing this bread around what grows and having this community that enjoys it and getting that support. So it just makes sense now. I think that award is not about, kind of resting now and it's celebrating what I have, this medal around my neck, but it's really about a launch point for there's a lot more work to do.
So
and let's
congratulations on all your hard work.
Yeah.
You're just getting started.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to hear more about that and a couple bumps in the road getting the James Beard, but also kind of developing Barrio bread when we get back from the break. And so I'm Wesley Source, your host for the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be right back with more from Network Outdoors. And special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Barrio Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Sirius Visual. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here with Cody Peck of Network Outdoors, the financial guy or advisor guy, and Don from Barrio Bread. Thank you so much for being here again today. Super excited for you to be here. Now, everybody can join us and ask questions. All you have to do is call 520-790-2040. That's 520-790-2040. And everybody's welcome. And like I said, if whoever has the best question over the next couple of weeks is going to get free tickets to that 5-course meal at the Arizona Sands Club. So call in. Now, so during the break, we were talking a little bit more about kind of your background and stuff, but I really want to know how you overcame when you were starting off, because you love baking bread. But I mean, you were in your garage, and then you opened up a couple stores, and then So I'll let you.
Yeah. So when I was, the younger me, it was when I was 25, I opened the Village Baker of Flagstaff. 97, the Village Baker of Ashland, Oregon. And I ran that company. It went so well. It just took off. That was kind of when European style coffee, espressos came to the Americas, and the bread was similar timing. So it just hit like wildfire, and it was great too. But that second bakery in Ashland, Oregon, maybe not the best choice. That really took a toll on me, and I felt I was just young and maybe didn't manage it well. But I stuck it out. It was great, but I learned a lot from that. But it was, years down the road where I had a chance to sell the bakery, and that was, my thoughts are return to school. You can always retool some education, right? So I returned to the University of Arizona and got a College of Education degree, and I taught for 7 years at Miles Exploratory Learning Center, TUSD. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
But it was great because the entire time I was in that program, what was I doing? What was I thinking about? I was thinking about the bakery, and if I had a bakery, how would I teach my people? So it came, like a perfect, immediate application for what I wanted to do. I enjoyed teaching kids. I taught preschool through 8th grade, but when I was teaching math to those kids, I was kind of teaching a little bit of baker's math around there too. So, the fractions, the decimals, and multiplication, that rudimentary math that everyone needs to know, but it's all applicable to baking. But that was a good study for me, but it was 2009 when I wanted to start a bakery, and I was prepared. I started, writing a business plan. I took about a year to write a business plan, and 2008, 2009, I took my business plan to the bank, and boy, that was sure poor timing, right? The economic crash in 2008, 2009. So walked in and asked to speak with the SBA officer. There was no such thing at that time, no SBA loans. So I kind of had, it took it hard, but I fell back on what my dad taught me is not to buy anything you can't afford. So instead of borrowing money, I thought I needed to do things differently. And, my travels in Europe and Mexico, I had seen bakeries, like either in someone's house in Mexico or,
Sure.
upstairs and, in France. And so I thought, okay, might be time to sweep out that garage. So that's what I did. I started thinking about the opportunities to do that. And there was a dad at the school, and he was head electricians guild in Tucson, and talked to him about the possibility of kitting my garage out with all the power I'd need to set up a nice deck oven and all the extra things, the refrigeration and that sort of thing for the bakery. And you know what? It worked out. Kind of a lot of planning, and as long as I didn't push the toaster down and toast a piece of bread, I was okay. But no, it worked great. And I was 8 years in the garage. So
oh, wow. That's a long time.
That was really a very introspective time. As you can imagine, I was kind of like the bread monk, right? It's a lot of thinking about how I was going to do things in the future. But it was there where I thought, hey, let's just pull the past together of what I've been doing, the anthropological studies of food systems.
Absolutely.
The entrepreneur in me was thinking I have to do things differently. And it was the grant with Native Seed Search, with local grains. I thought, I'm going to put together a different bakery model. And I called it a community-supported bakery, community-supported baker, CSB. And so in that garage, that's what I did. I really started to think about the best way to move forward, and that was to teach. It was to rely on what I know. It was to teach other people and start holding bread classes and bread seminars, start talking to farmers about increasing the grow. And it worked out. It was a really difficult time, but I was in that garage at the pace that the grains were growing.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't really get ahead of it. I started out just 10% of my bread had local grains. And then every year as I increased the grow with farmers, I just added. So next year was 20%, 30%, until I got to about 70%. And at that time, 2015, I wrote another grant, local food promotion grant with the USDA. And thankfully, that was funded. So that was $100,000, and they wanted to sponsor my business, and a promise from me to educate my community about how I was making bread, which was with something that grows right there in my community and feeding people. So with the money I saved, those 8 years of hard work, along with that grant, I have what I have now, which is, a beautiful bakery down there on Eastbourne, 18 South Eastbourne Avenue.
Yes.
And it's more of the same. I continue to be the same person and continue to do what I do, which is have a community-supported bakery, but just expanded. First year in business, I grew 300% from my garage, and the USDA is happy. Since then, I've received 2 other grants, so I'm going to continue with that. And just having fun with it, just living my life the way I want to.
Congratulations. So that it's you say that the teaching is a huge part of what you went back and that's what you want to do, and it's interesting because all the leaders that I've come across that are successful leaders, that's what they want to do. They just want to teach, and they want to show, and they want to improve the people around them so that they can all grow together.
Absolutely. I learned long ago that if you have open hands and you're sharing, you can give and you can receive. And this community has just given me so much. And it's just been an avalanche of support. And I believe that's one of the reasons for the James Beard Award is Tucson loves to see people doing good for the community. Yes. And if they see that, as you see a lot of people, you interview a lot of people, you get out. And this is what it is. The people that you connect with and the list of people that you have on your show are those people. And that's why we have the shows like this, is because people want to get involved. They want to support. And you bring them into the know. So you shine that spotlight, which is awesome.
Well, thank you.
The goodness.
Yeah. And that's that's why we do it. There's no better way of explaining it, because we want to highlight the chefs and the restaurants and everybody that's making food in Tucson, because it's very unique. But it's kind of interesting. When we first started developing the show about a year ago, actually just over a year ago, we really found that they're very inclusive in themselves with the chef community. So they keep outsiders out. So it was, all right, guys, come on, let's go talk about your story and why you're doing what you're doing, because there's some amazing chefs and just like yourself, bakers, that are doing some very special things. So with the How do you see Barrio bread influencing the culinary tourism, and what do you feel makes it stand out?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you to Visit Tucson. I mean, Visit Tucson, this amazing organization,
Yes.
has really brought a lot of attention to our city and really promoted our city gastronomy. There's a lot of work that's done, several organizations, but I feel like Visit Tucson, they're really putting people on the map. And, I have a lot of interviews, New York Times, Havara Magazine, Food and Wine, Travel Magazine, coming to my bakery and wanting to interview. And
Yes.
these are from recommendations from Visit Tucson. And
wow.
this is really helping to get this hype going for our city gastronomy when it comes to gastro-tourism. I mean, if you come here in the most beautiful times of the year, right? We have our season,
Yep.
but you're here, you're eating outside, you're feeling this amazing air, the food that we celebrate as our Sonoran food. It's just amazing. And really not even Sonoran food, but we have such a
Diversity, absolutely.
diversity of ethnic foods here, but it's just a great place to be. And we have a lot of tourism. And I think one reason being is that we love that. As a community, we love to see people coming in and enjoying. We welcome it. We rely on it, our economics. So that's a big part of who we are. But this, the bakery has that influence because people hear about it. And I have people from all over. It's Chicago, San Francisco, New York, LA, San Diego, New Mexico. They're just coming to see the bakery. And especially after that James Beard Award, there's actually people that will just get on a plane when they hear about something like this just to come to that spot.
Yes.
This gastro-tourism is a real thing.
It is.
And I ask them, you came for the bread. Yes, I just wanted to see this bread. I wanted to get the bread. And I'm sure they're going to eat some tacos too. But
Hopefully they're not going to McDonald's because there's a problem there.
But we're very lucky, right?
We're
a very lucky community to have this.
Being born and raised in Tucson, it's when I joined the Air Force to get out of Tucson, that was literally my goal. I was a kid. I've been here forever. I just want to go out and explore the world, and so I joined the Air Force, and I was in Virginia, Northern Virginia for 3 years, and then I was in Northern California for 3 years, and the food. It was just lacking. I mean, they had a lot of chains, they had a lot of things, but there was nobody that was doing what Tucson does. And I mean, not even Phoenix does what Tucson does. I mean, there's a few places, you get Old Town Scottsdale and stuff, but there's nothing like you can go any part of Tucson and you can find a nice restaurant, and it's usually local or locally owned.
Right. A lot of locally owned restaurants.
1,500 in Tucson, which is more than Phoenix. Yes. Yeah, we do have 49 seconds.
Just letting you know.
Yep. I'm glad that you're watching the clock for us, Cody. You're a good co-host. Thank you.
Yeah, and I really think it's awesome about the collaboration and all this connectedness that we have with our chef community and our restaurant community and our food community as a whole. Is we love this collaborative efforts. It's not so much competition, but we all want to get together and celebrate and share the wealth.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get to check out some of the bread after the break. And thank you to our amazing sponsors. That's Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Barrio Premium Beef, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, Cirrus Visual. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source. And we're here on the second part of the show. I don't know where the time's gone. I mean, it just feels like it's going. Great conversation, great people. So, we're back with Cody Peck of Network Outdoors and the financial advisor guy.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling you?
Whatever you want to call me. I've been called worse.
I've been trying to get a little bit of guidance on this for about 3 months now, and here we are. So we're on the radio asking again.
We moved forward a little bit, so baby steps at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad to be here to learn a lot, even in between the break from Don.
Yes.
But Don, can you explain to us the style of baking that you do here?
Yeah, sure. So my style of baking is a French technique. It's called levain, so Levain, and it means leaven. So pain au levain, this is like a French sourdough bread. So the bread's leavened with wild yeast culture. So sourdough is basically flour and water that have been mixed together, and it's a host of microbes, wild yeast and bacteria. Those microbes inside that batter are used to leaven more flour and water and salt to make a bread dough. And it's a slow rising action. So my breads are made in 24 hours. There's no rush to it. But good things take time. So when you slow things down, you create something that's healthy. It's low glycemic and low gluten through the fermentation. That acid breaks down the starches and proteins.
How low is the gluten? Have they tested that?
Pretty close to nil. And you know what? It depends on the wheat varietals. So what's really cool about some of the lineup I have at the bakery is I'm working with ancient and heritage grain, which is older varietals, and the older it is, the less gluten it has. Even though it has protein in it, it has a different protein structure. So I have something right now called einkorn. Einkorn is the mother of all wheats. It's a diploid wheat, 2-pair chromosome.
Okay.
This bread has changed the diets of so many people that are gluten-free or severely allergic to either grain or bread, whatever they want to say. But also my breads are untreated. So they're sustainably grown, organic. Yeah. But through that levain process, not only do you get a healthful bread, but you get a tasty bread.
Yeah.
So you get something that has a slight acidity, a sweetness to the interior, so you can really taste the flavor of each varietal of grain. I have 12 species of wheat and a species of rye right now, and more coming all the time. And then you create varied structures. So you get something that's crispy on the outside, tender on the inside. And the coolest thing, you do that with just flour, water, and salt. You don't need any oils. You don't need sugars, any fluff to it. I do have cool ingredients like, cranberry walnut. There's even like a chiltepine and cheddar bread. I do have the flavors, but really the bases are pretty consistent with that flour, water, salt. And it's a healthful bread, and I think that's why people love to eat it. It makes them feel good. It's tasty. It's beautiful. It's artisan bread, so it's my art. It's Sonoran Sunset. When you look at the racks of bread, tans, rusts, blondes, browns. I blend the different grains. They're all different pigments. So that's my color. It's like an artist with a palette of paint. I blend those up, and then you see this array of sunset.
Wow. That sounds so delicious right now.
And you got to go check out I just got some video of the bread that he brought in, and this is the loaf of the mother of all loaves.
And this is a sourdough loaf, right?
It is truly sourdough.
All right, I'm taking part of this and making a BLT tonight.
Ooh, that's gonna be so tasty.
No, you got to fight Tina for it. Sorry, she's stronger than you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So, are you kneading the dough by hand? Are you using machinery?
No more kneading by hand. Those days are over. So mechanical mixers. I have a fantastic team at Barrio Bread Tucson, as well as Barrio Bread Gilbert now. So I have amazing people that are committed and believe in my mission and vision. I've had just people stay for years and years and years. So my my employee retention is strong.
Yes,
and I believe that they love what they're doing. I mean, I hear them laughing all the time and having a great time, and that makes me feel good. In the back, it's lots of jokes and laughing and music playing, and it makes me feel good that they're having a great time. And so, a good staff is everything, because if you have good people, and you have happy people, you have good tasting bread and happy customers. They can feel that energy through the bread.
That's awesome.
So nice.
It's all important. It's that good energy that goes in comes out, and you get to taste it. It's real. It's part of that ingredient list.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that 100%. Especially cooking. I love cooking myself. I'm not a chef by any means, but when you're in the kitchen and you can tell when somebody's just going through the motions compared to somebody that loves what they're doing. And,
exactly.
And that's why we're doing the TV show, because we really want to showcase the chefs in the kitchen. Now, I'm sure that you're still sore at the end of some of the days, so I've got a couple of these really cool cards. It's actually a gift from Levity Wellness Center.
Ooh.
And they do 50% off float or sauna. This is directly from the owners. They're one of my sponsors, and I'll give you 4 of those so you can share them, or maybe there's 5. Yep, perfect. So you can share those with your employees or keep them for yourself. Do whatever you want to do.
I hope they're not listening. No, happy to share with them. They deserve it. They deserve 100%.
They're the only ones. They're actually down by the U of A campus.
Okay.
And they're the only commercial float tanks in Tucson. And they have the open one, so if you don't like going in the enclosed one, isolation chamber, you can actually go into a bigger one. And that's when I go into, because I don't do the small spaces anymore. Bonnie has a question for you.
Sure.
Or me. Bonnie, how you doing?
Good. I've heard about you, and I haven't gotten a chance to go there. I didn't know where you were, and so I looked you up on the website just now. You're real close, Broadway Village right there. I thought you were downtown somewhere. Anyway, I recommend anybody listening to this, they should go to your website where they can see your breads and the variety you have. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I have 30 different varieties of product there, and actually now it's about 45 now that I've had the Gilbert store, because the Gilbert, I've kind of recreated a new menu based on what grows in Queen Creek and milled by Hayden Flour Mill. So that's that chef-inspired menu for me, just not repeating what but, going out and just recreating. So that was really fun to create that Gilbert menu. But yeah, thank you, Bonnie. It is my art. It's edible art.
I mean, nothing makes the best sandwich if you've got the best bread. And wow, I've been into this seeded bread, but I get it at the grocery store, and it's good. But when I looked at yours, you better remind everybody that you sell out quick.
Yeah, it's getting easier though. It's kind of locals only right now. It's getting hot. So what do those winter visitors do? They're jammed out of here pretty quick. But it's easier to get that bread. Also, there's a retailer, Food Conspiracy Co-op, where you can access the bread, and I'm going to be selling at Button Brewery.
Ooh.
Also, Moto Sonora, you can get some bread there if it's on the south side of town. But then, Valencia Farmers Market. I'm proud to say that now you can get the bread with SNAP benefits there, and this has really been important to me, is making sure everyone can access that bread at the price point that's they need. And so it's been really fun. But yeah, check out that bread. I hope you come down, and let's replace that seeded bread you're getting at that grocery store with some Barrio bread. That super seed whole wheat. I think you're gonna love it.
And I saw you have pizza kits too. Do you still do that?
Yep. So my other company is called Barrio Grains. So what I've done with the local farmers, I've promised them increased sustainability by using their parts that I don't have, not all their yield, but getting it out to the community. So that's why I love to teach, tell people how to bake their own bread and get them using the best ingredients, which is what I have with coming from the local farms surrounding us. So Barrio Grains, I have 3 different mixes there. I have a pizza kit. I have the wheat berries for sale, and I love to teach it. Breadlessons.com if you want to learn how to make my bread. I have the sourdough starter that I give out free. So you have access to me too. If you have questions, you can come in and see me at the store. But yeah, it's a holistic picture to bakery and grain development.
So thank you very much, Bonnie. Make sure you give Tom your email address so we can get you on the list. Okay?
Oh, thanks. I'll be there. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
So what equipment do you recommend for someone who's like, hey, I want to make bread at my house? They've never done it before.
That's a great question. So you don't need much, really. Mixing
we don't
bowls.
have a lot of time either.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, just some mixing bowls, basic equipment, but I think the most important piece of equipment, probably the most expensive, not that expensive. It's $45. So I'm sure you have a large cast iron pot. You go out camping and you're eating, making some delicious food. Yeah, that's what you need. So you just put the dough, your developed dough in there that you're about to bake inside that cast iron pot. Oh, yeah. It traps the steam. That's how you develop that crust on the bread. Mm-hmm. So
we tried to do that during COVID, and it came out as a brick.
It's about the dough. You got to get that dough right first. Yeah. But no, you can even do it camping. I used to teach some kids once in a while, go on camping trips. So outdoor baking where you can just put the the cast iron pot on some coals that are on a piece of metal there,
Oh, yeah.
and just have it bake outdoors. And that's an awesome experiment with students.
Well, we got something coming up with some camping trips with some kids, so I think we need to get you on board. Show us how to do that, because I'm interested. Because I like showing people how to
Good Brothers Foundation,
how you can heat with a paper plate if you use the right things to warm up stuff over a fire. People always freak out when you do that because like it doesn't catch fire. No, as long as you know how to do it right.
Yeah, just little bit of that know-how, and it goes a long way.
Or you have the right equipment, Cody.
Yeah.
I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Thank you so much for coming in today, Don. We'll be right back with another great guest, some coffee, actually. So special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers Country Financial Insurance, Vero Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Cirrus Visual. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and what an amazing show. Don is absolutely incredible. We still have Cody Peck here in the studio, and if you have a question, again, make sure you call him 520-790-2040, and with an opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Arizona Sands Club, the TV version of the Tucson Tasty Show, and be in the live audience. So cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be on the CW and ABC, so that's not like we're just doing a YouTube channel. We're on TV. Everybody goes, wait, what? When I actually
That will be
say
fun.
that, yeah.
The first time out there with Michael Elefante, that was an amazing time. Great value. Went home with leftovers, and I basically didn't eat for like a day. So
it was incredible. Totally worth the ticket price, if not more than the ticket price. He was over the top, and I'm still dreaming about some of that. I didn't get to eat everything. Or try everything. We were supposed to have plates set aside for us, but one thing happened or another. Like, that pasta flew across the room or something, I heard. And then, so that one went out. I'm not saying anything.
All I can say is he got me to eat a pickle, and I don't eat pickles.
That was because it was a peppercini pickle. It wasn't a real pickle. Well, welcome back. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. We wouldn't be here without them, and that's Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vero Premium Beef, that's vepremiumbeef.com, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, and Cirrus Visual. And we have Gabe Watson of Brew Station Coffee Co. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to come on here.
Absolutely. You are a new coffee house, and you're in a very needed location for coffee, because there's nothing wrong with that big, green labeled coffee place, but I'm just...
Which spot?
I can't say the actual name. I don't want to. But it's better when it's brewed. It's brewed by a local company, but the coffee's roasted here as well.
Correct.
So you get your coffee from a local distributor, correct?
I do. Yes. So Crave Coffee right there on Broadway, right before you hit Swan. Guy that owns that, Fatmir, awesome dude.
Yes, Crave is delicious.
Yes.
And there's so many coffee places here, so you gotta experience them. And there's no reason not to go to a local place, right?
Exactly.
And I actually read it was kind of a rant, and it was kind of funny, but it was on one of the social media platforms, and it was 1 in 8 cups of coffee that are pre-ordered are left abandoned at that big coffee chain. So 1 in 8 customers are so busy they don't even remember to get their own coffee. Can you imagine what that would do for one of the local coffee houses?
That's insane.
Right.
I can't even fathom that.
And it was actually, it was like 4:00 this morning when I was reading that. So,
right.
But yeah, no, I was like, that pisses me off, and I just kind of moved on.
Right?
But I was like, I got to talk about it with Gabe when he comes in, because, yeah.
So Gabe, what coffee beans do you guys
Before
use?
we get into that, so you're located at the. We got to talk about where they're at first. I like the energy,
Right.
Cody.
I
where
just know
are you?
everything's a
Right.
drive for me, so it doesn't matter.
Everything is a drive for you. Yes, just like everything's a drive for me. And just the opposite direction.
Right.
Literally. You've
We're
got
literally
the
on opposite
northwest
sides.
corner, and I've got the southeast corner. We got Tucson covered.
Yeah, there you go. But so yeah, we're on Broadway and Kolb.
Okay.
Yep, right in that the Gaslight Theater complex right there.
Yes.
Yep, closer to Kolb.
Right next to a kind of pub that's been around a long time.
Yes. Yep.
Which pub is that?
The Murphy's Public House.
Yeah, Murphy's Public House.
Yep.
So Murphy's Public House, then the coffee. So you can hang out at the coffee place all day, do your work from the coffee house, and then go over to the pub and get some good food and some beers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, they should
Or get some coffee and bring it over, and they'll make some Irish coffee for you.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've had that for people. Make do my pour over coffees or something, and then they'll just take it straight to Murphy's.
And you guys are tied together, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So same owner, or well, your partner is
Yes.
the owner. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. So Broadway and Kolb, and you're right there next to Little Anthony's and Gaslight Theater, and right down from Diamondback. Diamondback. It's not
Yep.
Diamondback, is it?
Yeah.
That's Diamondback.
Outdoor sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool location. And we actually came in and did a Coffee with the Tasty show, which is something that everybody needs to join in on as well. And I'm pointing at Cody for everybody can't see.
They can't see, right?
Because he keeps saying, yeah, I'll be there. And he never gets there, but that's all good. But we do Coffee with the Tasty show, and it's brought to you by Dirty Cactus Soap. And that's Kelly with Dirty Cactus Soap. And she does this soap that looks like geodes, which is really cool. And so we're going to local coffee houses to spotlight the coffee houses and bringing in the followers. And hopefully you started to see, some trickle in from that as well.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's been great.
And we're excited to come back and do it again.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you said it was Kelly that was doing that?
Kelly and me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
it's the Tucson Tasty Show, but it's Coffee with the Tucson Tasty Show, brought to you by.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to have sponsors.
Right. Yeah. You got to do it.
He likes making sure everything he does is a mouthful.
Yeah. No, that's the only way to do it, right?
Yes. Anyway, so let's talk about your coffee. So you have cold brew, you have espresso, you have drip coffee, you have pour over coffee, you have different drinks. You have a unique drink that I'm sure that you're the only one that makes it. And with the Crave Coffee, what type of beans are you using? Thank you, Cody.
You're welcome.
Right. Nice little segue there. So the two that we're using right now is a Central and South America blend. And so the ones that I'm using for my espresso blend is from Indonesia.
Yes.
And it is a chocolate and citrus, more kind of like a balanced flavor. But as far as like my cold brew, my pour overs, my iced coffee, I have more of like a dense bodied.
Ooh.
More of a walnut and molasses kind of punch in your face.
That's delicious. Yeah. No, and I as much as I love coffee, I never really dove into all the different flavors that you can get out of coffee. Now, you're not actually adding those flavors into the coffee, which is,
correct.
It's something that, Greg Goderman from Laramida Cellars talks about with the wines, because he's the chief winemaker. And he talks about, you get these different notes and flavors, but it's not something that's put into the wine. It's not something that's put into the coffee. Just like when you say something tastes earthy, it doesn't taste like dirt. It's
right.
It's just a way to describe the flavors and sometimes the textures. But it's really cool to be able to get that out of the coffees. And I've actually gotten really selective on what coffee I like because of where they're from, the flavors that you get out of them. And I had a coffee that was it was a blend, so it wasn't from one region or another, but they blended it together, and it's a local place here. and it tasted like pimentos, and it had or more tasted like the chocolate, the cocoa flavor, but it had a pimento finish, so it had a little bit of salty. Like I was like, whoa,
Right. Caught you off guard,
and then I drink coffee usually until about 11 or 12 because if I drink it past then, I'm not sleeping that day.
Right.
I see that Gabe brought us something.
Oh yeah,
we'll be there in a second. Jeez, you're just so excited. We got 2 minutes, man.
I'm excited.
But
I gotta get my caffeine addiction.
It cooled
going
down, and then it tasted like chocolate milk. It was nuts.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it
was good though.
So cool. Oh
Yeah.
But it's so cool what the different flavors do. So
Right.
we definitely appreciate that. So you did bring in some drinks.
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about those really quick.
So my first one is my cold brew, and pretty much everything. I mean, the three that I brought are iced because I figured it's nice and warm out, so we got to do the ice
It's only
stuff.
90 degrees,
Right? And plus, driving over here, I was like, well, it's just gonna get lukewarm. It's not gonna be good. But my cold brew,
Awesome.
I don't know if anyone wants to try them.
Let's do this.
And then I also have my
And go to the Tasty Show 520 to check it out. And so cold brew.
that's my cold brew. Yep. And then this one's gonna be my Americano.
Ooh, that's more up my alley.
Yep.
Whoa.
And then the last one I have is a prickly pear lemonade.
Well, let's try that, and then I'll hand it over to the producer Tina to try because I want to try this prickly pear lemonade because we made this growing up. I mean,
Right.
it's a Tucson staple, and we got about 10 seconds here.
This is a pretty good Americano.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes you get some of these and they can be like very, very, I don't know, kind of like a sour.
Well,
Right.
everybody should
tartness.
go
Right.
and try this coffee. All right, thank you so much for joining us today in the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll see you next week from 3 to 4. We'll have Gloria Badilla of Chiltepeka. Thank you to our special guests and sponsors, Cody Peck of Your Financial Guide, Don Guerra of Barrio Bread, Gabe of Brew Station Coffee House, Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vero Premium Beef, Nova Spida, Mafia Kitchen, Financial Advisor Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Levity Wellness Center, Sirius Visual. I'm your host, Wesley Source. Stay tasty, Tucson.
Love it.